ever since my kids could walk or fairly independently, you find that you're assaulted by merchandising, that it is the world of consumerism just opens up and slaps you around the head. You can't go into a store without them placing little kind of consumables at their eye level, so their tiny little brains go, "Wah!" And they, of course, go on the floor, throw tantrums and freak out. All about you. It's all about extracting money from your wallet. It's like a cash enema coming from you. It's a vicious attack at them from that. It's been happening for years. This is the way it works. This is called the economy. Basically, the big, dirty cash river that we're all engaged in. Now, in the economy and in business, there's sort of an assumption we have a relationship. In order to extract that cash from us, from we, the consumer, the business person must behave in a certain way. They must treat us with a modicum of respect and dignity, even assuming that the lowly one, the most lowly, shitty-looking person could, in fact, have a gold sort of credit card sitting in their wallet, ready to spend. And so you expect you to be treated with some degree of decency. Like, it's not like you're going to walk in there and someone goes, "Get out, I don't like your shoes, get out." So I'm going to tell you a little story. It's a little something that happened, because it happened to my daughter and her friends the other day in a store where they were accused of shoplifting from a month before, when they were apparently in there harassed and humiliated. And I thought, imagine if 3 adult women were shopping in a shop and they were told that they'd been caught shoplifting a month before, or at least looked like the people that they thought they'd seen on the security screen. I think there'd be a bit of an outcry. But as it happens, I've got a feeling that teenagers are pretty well used to being harassed and bullied by adults who misuse their power in such situations. I'm not talking about everyone, but some people, and if you do it, you know who you are. So this is a little story. Now, for the purpose of this story, the children will be piggies, because it's sort of cuter. So once upon a time, there were 3 little piggies. Well, they weren't really little piggies. They were that sort of part where you're sort of in between being a little piggy and like a big piggy, kind of like an in-betweeny piggy. They're sort of in-betweeny piggies, sort of like highly hormonal piggies, kind of freaked out piggies on the edge. Now, one day, these 3 little in-betweeny piggies decided that they'd go into Byron Bay after much bartering with their mother piggies, who said, "Do you have to go in? All right, if you go, here are the rules about going in. If you go in, you have to be picked up by a certain time, because piggies can't be seen wandering around Byron Bay, God, Bay of Pigs." And so the 3 little in-betweeny piggies went to the beach. They swam in the waves. They lay in the sun, sunbaking until their little piggy butts burnt like bacon. They took photos of each other's little bacon burnings and posted it on Pig Book to get comments of, "Oh, you lucky little pigs." It's a good story, isn't it? Anyway, the 3 little in-betweeny piggies had a little bit of time left before mummy pigs were coming to pick them up. So the 3 little in-betweeny piggies decided they'd go shopping with their little trotters, their little trotters. They trotted into town to go to some of the lovely shops. Now, one they liked, the one particularly liked, where all the little in-betweeny piggies went, called Pigpen. That's right, it was so much fun. They looked around, they were lovely, it was so nice. They went in there and everyone was shopping. And they saw a very unusual person at the counter. Now, they didn't know it was a wolf wearing red lipstick. They thought maybe it was just a very unattractive, and rather unsightly piggy, so they said nothing. And after all, the red-lipped wolf was smiling at them like this. Eventually, the red-lipped wolf looked over at the 3 little in-betweeny piggies who was shopping in the pig pen and said, "I've been watching you little piggies." And the in-betweeny piggies got excited, because then the red-lipped wolf said, "We've been looking for in-betweeny piggies just like you." Oh, the in-betweeny piggies couldn't believe it. The in-betweeny piggies thought they were going to get a modelling contract at the pig pen. And so, sure enough, they gave their phone numbers and their school details so they could be super pigs. Oh, big, bad, red-lipped wolf turns around and goes, "Rawr." No, It would appear a month ago you little in-betweeny piggies were in here and you stole our piggy clothes from our piggy shop. And we think you are the exact same piggies that did that. Get out! I'm calling the piggy police. I'm going to get you out. You get out of here. I'm going to contact your schools. I'm going to contact your mothers. I'm going to contact Julia Gillard. Everyone's going to know. And the three little piggies all shriek. Because they knew it wasn't them, because they knew they were good little piggies who hadn't been shoplifting because they went to a school, which was like a pig pen like Fort Knox where you could not get out. The poor little piggies. The lady, the big bad red-lipped lady said, you look just like the piggies that were in here, but as it turns out, one says, but we're piggies. We all look the same, particularly in-betweeny piggies. They all look the freaking same. Anyway, what happened was they called the mummy piggy who came in, and she was very cranky. Mummy piggy was very, very cranky in a way that made her look a little bit crazy, a little bit nuts. And she went up to the big bad red-lipped wolf and said, these are not the piggies you're looking for. These are not the piggies you want. These piggies were at school, but no, big red-lipped wolf would not believe them, would not apologise, would not give a chance to stop humiliating and degrading these poor little in-betweeny piggies who were still there crying and sobbing and, you know, kind of chewing on their trotters. And so it was. 1 week later, that big bad red-lipped wolf has to send a text to Mummy Piggy saying, sorry, I made a mistake. I ate the wrong piggies. And that's the moral of the story, really. If you think that a piggy has been in your shop and shoplifted, you better be sure you have the right pig. You know, you better be sure. Otherwise, I'll be calling the pigs myself. You know, because it's not okay, you know, it isn't. Because I think it's just an outright case of bullying by adults to teenagers, and it's time you guys started standing up and telling them they couldn't do it. God, put the shoe on the other trotter, eh? And then we'd know it was happening. Freedom for piggies everywhere.